Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Whether you're joining us from Central Florida, another state, or somewhere else in the world, we're delighted to have you with us. And today is really about getting to know our chapter, the people behind Global Chamber Central Florida, learning whether this community may be the right fit for you and your business. For those who may not be familiar with Global Chamber, we are a global business community built around one simple idea, that is helping businesses grow across regions and across borders. We do create meaningful connections, open doors, and just create opportunities, provide education and resources, make it easier for businesses to navigate today's interconnected world. Earlier this year, I was appointed to serve as the executive director for our Central Florida chapter, which proudly serves three unique cities, and that is Tampa, Orlando, and the Space Coast, because we're just very close to each other and we can get to one city and I can get to Space Coast in 20 minutes and to Tampa in an hour and 20 minutes. And there's a reason our chapter was created around these three cities. Central Florida continues to be one of the fastest growing economic region in the country. And Orlando attracts millions of visitors every single year. There is innovation that comes with it, lots of talent as well. And Tampa, from what I know, Jenny and Diana will tell us more about that. Tampa has become a powerhouse for finance, healthcare, and technology, while the Space Coast is more, or they're transforming it to something really exciting, aerospace, manufacturing, and innovation in the state of Florida, manufacturing innovation in the state of Florida, but also around the United States or in the United States. So understanding these markets matters. Where you position your business matters. Knowing who is investing here, where opportunities are immersion and who should be sitting around your table matters more than ever before. And I was thinking about this earlier today. I want to share this before I forget it because when I said every our market and our positioning do matter, but I wrote this down and please remember this. If Central Florida is not, or let me rephrase it, Central Florida is not enough. And I wrote down, where does, this is how we need to approach this. Where does Central Florida position you? Think about that for a second, because the truth is, business has become increasingly global. Your next customer, strategic partner, investor, or opportunity may not come from your own city or even your own country. Communities like this simply makes those connections happen faster and more intentionally. If you don't know, my name is Mona Lubna Sharkawi. I go by Mona Lu, just to make it easier for people. And I have the privilege of serving as the executive director of Central Florida. Outside of my role, because I know Jenny told me you gotta introduce yourself. Outside of my role with the chamber, I work with companies, investors, families who are acquiring or liquidating real estate asset throughout Central Florida. What makes my work a little different is that I don't simply focus on real estate transaction. I work at the intersection of business, culture, and expansions. My work involves helping individuals and organizations understand how to successfully enter new market, navigate cultural differences and build relationships that lead to long-term success. And through our international network, just like this one here in at the Global Chamber, we also assist U.S. clients looking to expand internationally and support international clients looking to establish themselves here and in the United States. I'm also passionate about helping women become confident leaders through speaking, storytelling, and leadership development while encouraging them to venture outside of their culture zone and embrace global opportunities. Before we continue, I'd like to ask for your participation today. Um, if you have any questions or any observation, please put it on the chat and we can get to it at the end of the session instead of interrupting every other speaker. Now comes my favorite part of today, and I have the pleasure of introducing our leadership team. What I appreciate most about this group is that we didn't all arrive here through the same path. We represent different industries, cultures, experiences, and areas of expertise, but we all share one thing in common. We believe, or at least I believe, relationships still matter in business. And as you listen to each of our leaders today, I would encourage you to think about three questions. Do they serve? How do they view the potential of Central Florida and its connection to the world? And perhaps most importantly, why do they believe being part of this community like this one matters? And at the end of this session, hopefully they will be able to tell us who their customers are. Who are they looking for? Because we not only are looking to be members of members of a chapter, but I keep saying the same thing. We want to create value for everyone involved. So my hope is that by the end of our time together, you'll have a better understanding not only of what Global Chamber does, but also the possibilities that can emerge when the right people are sitting around the same table. Thank you again, and I'm going to start with the ladies. Jenny, the floor is yours.
I am the icebreaker. Well, thank you,
Yes.
Mona. First, I would like to start by saying,
Oh, she just muted herself.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Now I'm
Yes.
unmuted, right? So thank you for that. So first, I want to start by saying thank you to Doug for his leadership. He's so intentional in being engaged with every chapter. I know there are challenges with our organization being in so many continents and different time zones, and he yet still finds the time and opportunity to be engaged and have a presence. I want to thank Mona because she's a volunteer and she's always doing the heavy lifting, and I appreciate and value your leadership. So I wanted to acknowledge that and thank you for bringing us all together with this effort and initiative. I think that we're going to be a great team. My name is Jenny Samore, and I've been in the Tampa Bay region since 2011. I moved from Orlando. And when I started in 2011 here in Tampa, Tampa was not having much going on. I mean, to see where we are today is something impressive. So, my background was in real estate, is in real estate, and I worked for a local economic development organization for 4 years. And I took the leap of faith to launch my business as Gateway Global Network, assisting companies in the state of Florida to expand their global footprint or to assist international companies to enter the Florida market. I focus in the overall state of Florida, but my niche is obviously in the Tampa Bay region because I live here and I am blessed to have the partnerships and relationships of our local government and our network within the business community and the international aspect. I'm also the vice president of OWIT International, which is the Organization of Women in International Trade. So I'm very well focused on anything that relates the international business community. And I joined the chamber because I saw a true value proposition. And I see the value that it brings by bringing connections, true valuable connections. And I'm already seeing the return on my investment by being able to actively connect with chapters throughout the globe and networks that our chapters have throughout the globe so I can be knocking on doors of opportunities. So I'm looking forward to today's discussion and dialogue and looking forward to growing our effort and initiative within the Central Florida chapter. Thank you, Mona.
Thank you. Thank you. And remember, those questions that I introduced as we are talking, as we are introducing ourselves, remember those and you can always go back to them. Now, Diane, bonjour, Diane. I know that we have some French going on here.
Oui, c'est vrai. Merci, Mona. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, depending on where you're located. My name is Diana Bruwe. I am the founder of Tigare Group. Basically, I'm a consulting firm. We focus on international trade and business development, AI-powered growth intelligence, and conflict management. I also serve as the VP of Membership Engagement with the Tampa Bay Organization of Women in Trade. And I'm also involved in other nonprofits like Awareness USA, which provides free tutoring in math and science and social etiquette to underserved communities. A little bit of background, which will probably fill in some gaps of why I work in this field. I have worked in, well, background-wise, I'm Middle Eastern. I was born in the US. I grew up in Cote d'Ivoire and lived in Canada. And now my family's based here in Tampa. I've had over 18 years of international trade experience, mostly in the Canadian federal government and then in the Florida state government, as well as private sector. And I think for me, I've always recognized that there was a gap between what I could help companies with in government frameworks versus what is really possible. I found myself often saying no to companies more than yes. So I decided to kind of step outside of that and start to do it independently. The reason I joined the Global Chamber initially was very organically, was just learning about the organization, connecting with a few of the members and with Doug himself, and just realizing the natural synergy with the like-mindedness. I think for someone who grew up in an international context, you quickly find synergies or you don't. And I find people that are more worldly, traveled, or worked in different parts of the world, speak multiple languages, etc., just tend to give off a certain energy that I naturally connect with. And so the main purpose is definitely to connect with like-minded people. And I just find organically I've been able to make connections with partners and colleagues that I can work with, bounce ideas around, or even collaborate with. Then I think the opportunity came to be that, you know, we join forces as Central Florida and try to grow this chapter. What I will say, and I think we may cover this a little bit later, but I will say that there does tend to be, at least for the Tampa Bay region, in my experience, a little bit of chamber fatigue. I find there's a lot of organizations, you know, somewhat having the same type of efforts. And what I'm really attracted with, what I'm really attracted to with the Global Chamber is that I feel like we're like-minded in that we recognize that, and we're hoping to set ourselves a little bit apart, but also kind of have a different purpose. It's not just another organization, another checkbox, or another title someone will want to have, but really more a practical organization that you're part of that you really find meaningful return. Because let's be honest, we're all here primarily for business. The personal connection is the bonus. The friendships you form are definitely bonus. But in the end, we're all, you know, working and doing business cross-regionally. I'll pause there. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. Beautiful lady. All right, gentlemen, I'm not going to pick here. You just go ahead and do your thing. Do I see, you know what? I am going to start from left to right, and what I see And who I see is Dennis Black. Go ahead, please.
How are you, everybody? My name is Dennis Black. I'm new to the chapter. I'm going to be at dinner on Monday. Looking forward to that, to meet people in person. But my business focuses primarily on the ability to help people in the real estate and finance industry, and I've done it for the last 39 years. My career started right out of college at Xerox Corporation, so I was a salesman, then a national sales trainer in Leesburg, Virginia. Then came back and realized that corporate life wasn't for me, and I wanted to be more autonomous. So I got into the mortgage industry and learned that business and felt the biggest gap in that industry was they weren't professionally developed. So I started a company in 1988, and here it is 38 years plus later. I've trained over 165,000 people in the US, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Mexico, basically where most people can speak English. I haven't gone into France or other countries where English may not be the primary, but I've trained people and developed them in every different aspect of sales and sales management and still actively do it. And starting my own podcast in August in the industry with real estate and mortgage experts. And in fact, I do another podcast with another private entity, and I had a chance to interview Donald on it. And he was the one who initially told me about, hey, you got to get a part of this group, man. People will like what you have to offer. They don't know what you do, how they're going to be able to help you. So, Donald, thank you again for that. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody on Monday. But my specialty is in sales and sales management development, and have done a whole bunch of people over a long time in large seminars, private corporate training, and I also do just one-on-one private coaching with realtors and mortgage professionals. So that's me, group. And you can look at my LinkedIn and see more about me. It'll tell you everything about me and all the companies I've worked with and what I do professionally. Thank you
Very
for
happy to
coming.
have you. Very
Yeah,
happy to
looking
have you,
forward to
Dennis.
Monday. Yep.
Yes, yes, absolutely. The next person I see is Senor Hernan.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. Excited to be part of the Global Chamber. I'm a brand new member, and so far very thrilled of the interaction with the members, the professionalism across the board as I participate in different meetings. I lead for 20 years a multicultural advertising and digital agency. The name is Tagliani Multicultural. We basically help CEOs and CMOs and senior marketing leaders in turning cultural insights into measurable business growth, moving brands beyond the check the box multicultural marketing to strategies that really drive revenue, market share, and long-term loyalty, with the fastest growing consumer force in America at the present time, which is multicultural marketing, driven by US Hispanic growth. That's where the growth is coming from here moving forward. At the present time, 44% of US consumers are multicultural, and by 2028, that number will be close to 50%. There's tons of statistics out there, but by 2045, Caucasian consumers are becoming minorities. So what I always tell executive leaders is we are going through a lot of transformation at the present time, not only on a consumer standpoint, a consumer evolution, but also on technology wise. So reaching to multicultural consumers, that is where the growth is coming, is not any longer a niche audience. It's becoming a growth engine for your business. Through my agency, we are fortunate to work with some of the top Fortune 500 companies that rely on our expertise in how to reach and engage this audience effectively and efficiently. So we work with brands here in the US trying to tap into multicultural audiences, or brands from overseas that they want to expand and grow their business here in the US, but they don't know the market. So very big on research and data. Besides running the agency, I'm a business speaker, best-selling author. I wrote 2 books, And then I have the opportunity to write for some of the big national publications such as Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Adweek, and the Business Journal for 11 years about AI, diversity, equity, inclusion, and multicultural marketing. Live in Orlando for 25 years. When I moved here, it was like 7, 8% Hispanic. Right now, it's close to 40%. Orlando is very young, very diverse, very vibrant, and being part of that change is what drives me, and that was part of why I wanted to be part of the Global Chamber. I was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina, so I'm part of that rich history, and I'm part of basically one of those entrepreneurs who came here and became successful. One of those powerful stories. So, pleasure and honor to be here, and looking forward to seeing you guys in person next Monday and chat a little more.
Muchas gracias.
Mhm.
See, now we're going to be speaking different languages in here. Dennis, we're going to teach you a few languages,
More
okay?
Spanish. My español muy poquito.
Okay, very good. I see the next person on my screen is Jim. Jim Cook, the doctor of startups.
Hi, panel. Let me back up with what Mona and Diana and Jenny were talking about. I took 35 minutes last night to look at a interesting spiel on Florida in the next 4 years. No, 2 years. There's over $250 billion in infrastructure being built right now. An example will be 39A and 39B on the Space Course. That 39A is SpaceX. 39B is the one that's going to go to Mars. He is building the world's largest building. Let me repeat that. The largest building in the world, all right, to assemble for 39B, which will be the massive rocket that has taken the world by surprise. A little bit more about Orlando. Most people don't realize that the entire globe, whether you are a pilot for a ship, an airplane, or a helicopter, or even a motorcycle, the simulation market here is the biggest in the world. Every military potential pilot, no matter the craft, has to go through here to get trained. And all the civilian airlines too. What do I do? Oh, I've been in and out working with about 43 countries, with the countries or the companies inside of them. Company is nothing but solutions. We just happen to make it work. Mona, back to you.
That was quick, Jim. Okay, all right. Thank you. We'll come back to you. Okay. I see David. I see David. Buen dia, David.
Bom dia. I am not a Spanish speaker. Oh, which David? David. Hi,
Wait,
David.
wait a minute. David Messenia, is it?
Hey, thank you, David. You're muted, bud.
He's not muted.
No.
It's just something is going on with his sound.
Okay.
But
Well,
he
we'll
can
come
hear
back to
us.
you.
He can hear us.
Okay. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. The
Jim.
next person I see, let me just wear my glasses here.
Hold it.
Donald.
The
Donald.
glasses don't match.
Well, hey, well, maybe I should. I have the extra ones
Oh,
right
Lord,
here.
I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, I have Terry. Is it Terry?
Donald.
Donald. Okay, whoever is next, please. We're all
Why I'm
ears.
laughing? I'm having a good time. I'm watching Jim over here fly away.
Yep.
All right, so I'm Donald Jacobson, the founder of Night Yield Consulting Services. I know my name's come up a couple times already. I am out of the Phoenix chapter, but because my company is international, I try to jump into all the chapters to see what's going on and so forth. I know Mona and I have a meeting coming up eventually to actually have coffee. So I don't remember where that's on the schedule. So hopefully we can find that again. What we do right now is that the reason why I'm pretty much in this group today is one is Dennis is here, and Dennis and I did do a podcast, which actually wound up on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. So it was pretty good. Also, because I have several projects right now that are developing in Florida that are looking for investors and so forth. They're hospitals. And not only that, we have projects developing all around the world. Currently, we have about 60 projects that we're connected with. And we also do a lot of other stuff in our company. So our biggest thing is that we go into any company and we help stabilize the company first and foremost. Then we optimize the company and then we help scale those companies. Those are the biggest things that we do because a lot of companies sit there and think, hey, let me just throw money at it. And money's not always the way to solve issues because a lot of times we go in and we actually will find out that there's things that are going on because the seniors are up here with their ideas. Lower management doesn't know what's really going on. And we try to meld those guys together to get on the same page. And through that, we could also find out what it is that you actually have inside your companies to make more money. And so those are the biggest things that we do. Currently, my strategic advisors, we're not one of those firms that hands you a binder full of recommendations. We are actually boots on the ground, meaning that we embed ourselves with our clients and we work from beginning to the end of the project. And then after those projects, we stick with our clients and so forth. So we actually have connections and boots on the ground in the GCC, Pakistan, India, Spain right now. We have advisors in each one of those locations. Oh, also Africa is where we're at right now too. So we do a lot of projects around the world. We have a lot of boots on the ground. We have a lot of advisors everywhere, and that's how we keep growing. So,
That's
anyways, I
very
need to get
good.
back to my coffee. So,
Donald, we just want to know, well, later on,
yeah,
after everybody gets the chance to speak, how can we work with you? I know everyone's schedule is hectic, and sometimes we get too busy and then we forget. We want to make sure that every interaction, every connection, everyone that we meet, we are developing relationship that are yielding business or
yeah.
help
So
other to grow.
my LinkedIn is on the chat. I'm connected with Diane. I'm connected with Jen. I'm also connected with you. I'm connected with Dennis. So you guys can find me there. That's the quickest way is just send me a DM and so forth. And just mention Global Chamber and I will look at yours faster. And we can connect and set up meetings and discuss even more and so forth and how we can work together, develop. And also, if you have clients that are looking for things that I might have, that's great too. So.
Okay. All right. And by all means, feel free to say towards the end, this is what I'm looking for. That way we are aware and we are looking out for you at every conversation we have. Okay. Next person, just go ahead and start.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Technology. I wasn't thinking of it. So it's a pleasure meeting you all. Thank you, Mona. A sincere thank you for the opportunity. I love to be here. I do believe in the power of networking, as you mentioned at the beginning, especially in Central Florida, where all growth. Jim Cook, nice to see you. Jim, again, just mentioned. So I work for Regions Bank as a branch manager from A to Z. We serve all products in banking you can imagine. But the most important thing is not about the numbers or interest rates or equipment, it's about the relationship. I do believe that a good and solid relationship can definitely help everything banking and financing. My background, I'm from Brazil, so I speak Portuguese too. And my background was in New York for 10 years with commercial real estate until the pandemic. And I switched gears, came here to Florida, and now I brought my commercial experience to banking. So if you need anything in the area, I'll be more than glad to help. And again, Mona, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. See, we have Brazil, we have Argentina, we have Canada, we have Morocco right here. We have Pakistan, England coming. We're from everywhere. Okay, next person.
I think that would be Khalid.
Khalid.
Hey, how you? At
Good.
last I got in. I was having so much problem on the phone, so I had to wait till I got to the office and get on my computer to join up. But it's great seeing everyone, and we're looking forward to moving this Central Florida chapter forward in a big way. Thank you, Mona, for taking the lead on this. And with your connections and with your experience, I think we'll be able to achieve our goals in a much quicker time than usual. So I'm looking forward to the dinner on Monday night, and hopefully everybody on this on the call here will be there to attend. So I'm just a brief introduction. I'm based here in Orlando. I've been here 34 years in Central Florida. And my main business is really real estate brokerage. I've been doing that for the last 30 years, so I don't think there's anything else that I want to do. If you need anything, reach out to me or Mona. We're in the same business. I deal with commercial real estate and business brokerage mainly. 50 agents in my company. They're from 25 different countries. So if you need anybody that one of your clients needs somebody who speaks their language, we have all the resources here to satisfy
Well,
them. So that's it from me, and back to you, Mona.
Very good. Well, thank you. I see another David. There are two people here that I see names, but I don't see faces.
It's
Well, no,
probably
that's the
someone.
way,
David
that's
Oh,
Barnett.
because at Global
Oh,
Chamber, there are the
okay.
panelists and the
Okay.
attendee,
Very good.
and they've
Okay.
refused to become a panelist. And so, really, I would say focus in on the panelists unless they unmute themselves.
Very good. Do you have a word for us before we get to the next segment, Doug?
Inspired. I feel inspired. Thank you. Thank you all for speaking to, I think what someone mentioned about how we have something that's shared, this common thread between all of us that is hard sometimes to see because the world, I'm a chemical engineer. And so one of the things that's in chemical engineering is the concept of entropy, entropy being everything going to disorder. And it feels like sometimes the world is going to disorder. However, it takes energy to bring us together, to form connections that improve things, that impact things in a positive way. And you've all demonstrated through your words and actions that we have the energy, that we have the ability to pull this together and to have a positive impact. I think all of us have been inspired by Mona, and not just her energy, but her focus around bringing us together on things that really matter. So, Mona, thank you for bringing us together and for leading. It means a lot.
My pleasure. My pleasure. We're all here trying to make a difference in the world, starting with ourselves and our community, the community we serve. Like I keep repeating myself, we are here, we're taking from our time. We need to make it count. Meaning, how can we create opportunities for each one of us? It's not, we get too busy, we get distracted. As a chapter, we have to start here, the group, whoever isn't here, we want to make sure that they are served. And with that being said, we come as a group collectively creating opportunities for ourselves. Okay, we can put your face on the map, we can put your face on the global chamber, and you get the stage, the virtual stage. But at the end of the day, we want to close business, we want to expand, we want to create opportunities in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year, and so on and so forth. I am very, very open. I tell everybody I'm open book, and at the same time, I believe in not vertical, but horizontal leadership style. We are all here leaders. You're coming with ideas. We are all here to produce, and we're here to grow. So what are you looking for, and how can we put your face in front of people for you to be recognized, to be known, and share your expertise. And just like I said, and I keep saying, I wrote it down so that I can remember it. Where does Central Florida position you? This is a big question. Think about it. There's so much noise, so many businesses, everybody is trying to get noticed, but and we have a big market and great market, like Jim said. These are a lot of like some big billions and billions of dollars going around in our Central Florida. How can we just get just few dollars here and there? How can we get a share of whatever, And with that being said, we have to think about ways on how to do it. There are a lot of companies that come to our region, a lot of them, a lot of investors. There's business everywhere. How can we, where does this opportunity or opportunities position us? And that's what we need to think about. Out like beyond the global, yes, we are the Global Chamber of Central Florida, but with our expertise, we can create a network, fractional, whatever you want to call it, officers who are collectively putting their expertise together to serve companies, to serve clients, and to serve the region. So think about that, and let's create that environment. Let's create that what is the right word for it? Let's create that atmosphere of not just I am a member of the Global Chamber, but how can I use or utilize the Global Chamber to grow my business? And that does not happen just by sitting and attending and connecting. Yes, you will connect with someone, but collectively we can produce, we can create a lot more. So I'm open to ideas, and obviously we can plan for the next 90 days or so, and we can go from there.
So I can share a little bit of what I've been doing objectively since I joined as a member to leverage my investment. I've been reaching out to chapters in markets that I need assistance, and to get introductions within those markets, whether it's in logistics, ports authority. I think that taking the time to reach out and introduce yourself, introduce what you're doing, and connecting with those executive directors of those chapters, establishing that relationship. Because if you're not actively entering that market in person per se to establish those relationships, I feel that that is a great value proposition that the chamber gives us. It's making those connections. And I want to emphasize on something, because we're all in the state of Florida. The state of Florida currently has been doing exports increasing up to 80 billion per year. Exports are something that are largely in different layers with it, whether it's services, a product. Right now, we're being top exporters in manufacturing items that relate to transportation, but exports also relate to services that we export, because I'm exporting my services to different countries. I think that each and one of us, whether it's more than one person doing real estate or there's more than one person doing international business, we can complement each other, because we can fill certain gaps that we may have and the needs that we have in our business on a daily basis. I reached out to Hernan. Hernan and I already have a referral agreement in case we do business together. So it's about proactiveness and identifying, taking that initiative and step to reach out to each individual within your chapter and other chapters to see where the opportunities lay, because there are opportunities. And regardless of the geopolitics, because I've been affected by it, I think that a lot has to do also with just taking that time to be intentional about your membership and and leveraging the connections and network offered as part of that benefit. So that's just something that I've been doing personally, to kind of answer that question when it relates to what ideas or what can we do, is just being proactive and intentional and reaching out, taking the time to introduce yourself.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I love your ideas. When you send me those emails with ideas, I said, she was reading my mind. Anyway, for putting our chapters and the speakers that we are planning to have every month, what would be your specialty? Um, like I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to ask every one of you here, what is the specialty as far as what you should be introduced to the public by?
You're asking me, Mona?
Yes, Jenny, because I'm writing this down. That way we can send it to Mila and start planning on each month. This is the topic and this is the speaker.
I would say that I could be acknowledged as a gateway to the Tampa Bay region and Florida overall for international companies looking to enter a market. More in the Tampa area because we were just acknowledged as #1 in the US for foreign direct investment by the Business Observer last year. So our FDI is growing and there is a piece of the pie for everyone. However, I think that I am that gateway where I can connect them to our local government, our local business community, and the resources that we have available to help them do that landing within our community.
Okay.
Does that answer the
Diana.
question?
Yeah, so as a speaker, you will be like the title of the session would be Tampa
Gateway to
Market.
Tampa Bay. I don't want to, you see, the thing is, Diana is also a little bit of what I do. So I don't want
Okay.
to overstep and overtake because we work very well in collaboration. She does do a lot of other things that I don't do. So it's kind of in an area, Diana, please chime in because I would never want to take something that will take from her either.
No, no need. Thank you, Jenny. I agree. We do overlap in terms of what we do, and in being in the region, we have a lot of the same contacts. But there are some differences too in the languages we speak, the areas we focus on, and whatnot. And we do work really well together. So that's a good thing right out of the gate. For me, I think similarly to Jenny, in terms of I find just innately I'm a really good connector. So anyone that's looking for a connection, whether it's a partner for a collaboration for what they do, like there might be synergy with another type of company that they can collaborate on. I'm good at connecting that way. And then also with local governments, EDOs and whatnot in the region. That said, I think some of the differentiation between Jenny and I do have a focus on AI automation for small to medium businesses. Just from my working for state government at Select Florida, oftentimes when I would consult with companies that are looking to enter different markets internationally, it never failed that there was a bottleneck in our conversation where they were looking at or there was a need for operational automation to a degree before they can continue to scale or continue to deliver on the demands of their international sales. So I took it upon myself to kind of zero in on that. And I have taken some certifications to help assess businesses when it comes to AI operation needs that they may need. And so I do assessments with small businesses to see how I can help them to figure out, as Doug was saying earlier, and I did attend part of the monthly AI series that was before this call. There are so many tools and platforms out there that are helping companies automate. However, there are also a lot of issues coming up with that. Number one, it's very overwhelming. Number two, it's really hard to know where you're starting if you're a small to medium business and you don't have someone dedicated to AI. We all know about ChatGPT, Claude, etc., but there is so much more out there. And I think businesses need to focus on being AI native operationally. And as someone said in that series, just automating is not the answer, right? Not everything should be automated. So long story short, I think that's always my first conversation with clients too that are looking to export, especially if they're new to exporting, is the AI angle. And I hate to say just AI because that's so broad. It's more specifically automation of their operations. There are some great tools out there, and I have developed some great partnerships. I'm brand agnostic, so I don't favor one brand over the other. It's more an assessment and a guide to help them decide what path they should be on. So I think that's a differentiating factor. And then I do also assist with, I have a business line of conflict management. So any deals that are about to go sour or a deal that has, hit a roadblock, We do have mediation services for businesses, even mergers or family-run businesses that are looking at splitting. And that gets a little tricky when it's family members that are all running the business. So that's another business angle. But in a nutshell, I think Jenny and I are good anchors in the region. We both have a lot of similar contexts, but also different circles. So I think we can be a starting point as a connector, and then and medium businesses that are looking to go global is our specialty.
Very good. That was
And
thorough.
and
It's
just an FYI,
12:46.
Mona,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Something that I do different from Diana is also I help organizations orchestrate missions to other markets and inbound missions as well. I think Diana had some involvement in that with the state, but I don't think you're focusing on that now, right, Diana?
Okay.
No, that's right. It's not my focus.
What we are going to do, because we have just a few minutes, and I know that Doug has his hand risen, we are going to keep that with you. And you can always email me the topic, because definitely we want to put your faces out there and also introduce you to the public, introduce all of us to the public, and think of topics that you'd like to cover. Okay? And then we can have an internal meeting another day to discuss logistics and what we are going to do from this point onward. Okay. And I think Doug has his hands up, and we have, I believe, about 2 minutes.
Just a quick comment about both of you ladies talking about the economic development side. We have a weekly conversation about FDI and investment, and every week we pick an area of the world, and so we should do one on Central Florida and have both of you speak and whoever else you'd want to be part of that. So the intent is to have business, economic development, and commercial real estate all talking about what's happening and how do we work together and how do we take advantage of these opportunities. As Mona said earlier, there's billions of dollars that are flooding into Florida on the foreign direct investment side. There's probably a couple dollars for everybody. So let's find ways to have an impact, but also to prosper from that. So that's open, and there is a calendar that every week we're slotting someone in. So if you guys want to chat about it when a good time is, we're happy to do that.
Okay, excellent. We have 1 minute, I believe. Any questions? Floor is open, please.
We'll be able to discuss all this on Monday night at dinner, right? The majority
Yes,
of
we
it?
can.
Well,
Yes,
then hot
yes, we
damn, we're in
can.
good shape. There you go.
Yes, we can. We want everyone to prosper, definitely. And it won't happen in any other place better than being at a table, a round table, and discussing our goals, right,
Very
Dennis?
good. There you go. And make sure
Very
Jim
good.
comes along, because he's got all those rocket numbers, and they're the most critical ones of everything we've heard today. Thanks, Jim, for all that.
Okay, well, 12:49. Are we good, Doug? That's it. That's our time for today, right?
That's it. Our next event is coming up, and let's see what that one is. Whoops, I'm in a save a message. I better send that one. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. So it is it's Global Chamber Los Angeles Metro Meetup. It's actually Jeff Darr, who was our previous advisory board chair, being interviewed by our current advisory board chair, Dr. Sarita Jackson, who is a superstar, a trade superstar. She's unbelievable. Started her career in research, and she's expanded that into all aspects of trade. She spent quite a bit of time in the Caribbean, so she has a lot of your region. I think she also lived in Latin America somewhere as well. But she's in Los Angeles. She's on the District Export Council. She'll be interviewing Jeff about trade treaties and some of the aspects of trade treaties that we all need to know about. Jeff is an extraordinary, knowledgeable attorney and knows the law. He's working with clients in 35 countries ongoing. And so he himself is a great resource. So that's what's coming up.
Okay. All right. Very good. Make sure that we get in touch with Donald. Thank you so much for visiting our chapter and being with us today. Hopefully, we can meet you one day in person. Reach out to him. He is a wonderful guy. Just being here can tell you a lot about him. With that being said, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. And I look forward to seeing you Monday and go from there.
Yay.
Yeah. Thanks, Mona.
Thank,
Thank you,
thank
everybody.
you
Well,
so
Monday.
much.
Thank you,
Have a
Mona.
great
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye now.